Hello, people of the universe. I'm JC, and welcome back to Jay's High Tide. Now, today I figured it's good to talk about some good memories, good key memories, because there are no memories being made during this corona quarantine, isolation, social distancing whole thing. So I think it's a good time to throw it back a little bit and go through some of my favorite memories. Um, they're all pretty I guess recent. They're all within the past 6 years. I guess that's why I consider recent. If you were judging me, anyway. I think I'm just gonna start it off with when me and my family went to Lake George for vacation. It was a really good time. I mean, I'm just thinking about the things that happened. So, I brought my cousin James. So it was my mom, my dad, my brother, and me and my cousin. And it was like a 5 hour drive from where we are. So it was I like traveling. I like car rides. I don't know. See, like one day I want to drive cross country and just go to California in my car. Because I think that's just going to be so fun. But who knows if that's ever going to happen, because who knows when this is all going to be over. But yeah, so when we first got there, we had like a little cabin. It was really cute. It had 2 rooms. One of the rooms had 2 queen size beds, and then the other one had one big bed for my parents. So I got one of the bed, my brother got the other bed, and then my cousin James, he got an air mattress on the floor. And that kind of made everything really funny, because he's a big kid. He was a big kid. He still is. But just different definition. Ew, my dad. My dad was just farting. Anyway, so we were at a cabin. It had like a golf course, and it had an arcade. I guess you can call it an arcade. It was like in the lobby of the hotel. And me and James constantly played pool, because they had a pool table, and I was obsessed with these bouncy balls. I collect them. I used to collect them. I haven't collected them in so long. I haven't gotten any. So that was my obsession. I fought with people to give me quarters so I can get more bouncy balls. And I have over 100 bouncy balls, like the small ones. Oh my god. I don't even know how many bouncy balls I got that day. It was insane. I don't know who I was. But there was a pool also. One of the days we went to Lake George for, I think, a week. I'm pretty sure it was a week. And we also had my mom's friend and her family come, and they were a few cabins away. So we would meet up every now and then and go to the pool and go to the hot tub and chill. But one day we all went boating. My dad, my mom, my basically my side of the family. We had our own boat, and then my mom's friend had their own boat. And it was a good time. It was the sun, it was shining, and my dad was driving the boat. He never drove a boat before, so that was very interesting. And that ended up leading to him crashing into the rocks, and paying a fine for messing up the propeller, of course. Okay, so this means I have to give some backstory. I definitely have to, because when my dad drives, if he likes to look at the view around him, so it's not really a good thing that he's driving, because then he's looking off and then his arms go the opposite way that he's looking, so the car or the boat in this situation moves. And when we were on the boat, my dad was looking around at all the trees because we're on the lake, and my James, he was like, Uncle Rick, the rocks, the rocks. And my dad wasn't paying attention because he was looking at all the scenery, and we ended up crashing right into the rocks. And it took us about like 30 minutes trying to get out of the rocks and whatever. And that was like near the end of the trip, so it's not like we weren't able to do anything.
Gotta go out and get the water from the, What are you doing?
I'm filming a podcast.
Huh?
I'm filming a podcast.
Oh, sorry. When you get a chance to get water out of my car.
Anyway, that was him. So yeah, that was him crashing into the rocks was kind of like at the end of the trip. So we got to hang around. We ate sandwiches. We went swimming a little bit. That was a good experience because me and James, we kept feeling something around our feet, and it was just really funny. So when we got back to the dock after we crashed the boat, after my dad crashed the boat, I should say, they had to put it up on like this giant thing so they can raise it so they can see the damage. And I think we didn't have to pay that much money. I'm pretty sure it was like, I want to say $400. I mean, it was a lot of money. It is a lot of money, but like we were expecting like $1,200, like insane. But it was $400, and we still make fun of my dad to this day, and that was like 5 years ago. Maybe 6, I'm not sure. I think it was in 2014, so it has to be 6 now. I can't. Also on that trip, it was so fun. I want to go back so much. I literally loved Lake George. And it was like my first vacation. My first, well, not mine, but like my family's first vacation in like years. We went to Disney when I was like 7, and that was our last vacation until we went to Lake George in 2014. So that's a long time. We also me and James, we walked around town also. We they had these buses called trolleys. They're not called buses, they're called trolleys, and it's literally a bus. And me and James thought that trolley was a good nickname for like a good curse. It sounded like a curse word to me and him. We literally always used the word trolley for like the next 3 years. We still bring it up to this day because it was just so funny. We would just say it in a British accent, you know, and we gotta go on the trolley, and then if we used as a curse word, we were like, oh, you're such a trolley. Like, it sounds like a curse. It sounds like a word that can be offensive. I don't know if that's just me and him or what, but it definitely sounds like a word that can be used to curse people out. Also, me and James also started meeting up with my dad and my mom and my brother, and we went to this Frankenstein museum. Well, it wasn't really Frankenstein. It was like all the famous monster museum. It was actually pretty cool. It wasn't what we expected it to be, but we still enjoyed it. It had like all the famous monsters and the horror movies, and I forgot what the place was called, but I remember when you first walked in, it was They had like glass cases, glass displays, and they had like little figures in the whoa, I can't speak, sorry, in the displays. And I remember when we were waiting, because only certain people can go in at a time, because it's like a walkthrough. It's like you go upstairs and stuff. Um, Me and my dad were looking at all the figures, like all the Frankenstein figures and the Wolfman figures, because me and my dad are both really into that stuff. Um, that was really fun. I don't know how much the tickets were, and I wish I had the name of it. I'm gonna look it up because it was just insane. Um, Also, we went like shopping, and like I got a like George shirt. I don't know why. I can't think of anything to talk about this trip, but I just remember it being so fun. I had so much fun. My dad ended up getting a tattoo for my brother. Um, on that trip also, and it wasn't a good idea because it was like during the summertime. So it was hot. It was nice and like cool out, and we were sitting by the pool. And my dad, he walks out and he has a freaking tattoo, and the sun's blazing. He wanted to tan. Like that's not how that works. So he had to wet a washcloth, keep wetting a washcloth and putting it over his tattoo. um, my mom, me, and James, we went walking during the night, and we saw this beautiful view, and it had like one of those the sights thing. um Sorry, I found it. The monster thing was the House of Frankenstein. It was a wax museum. See, I had it. I knew it had to do with. I knew it had to do with Frankenstein. But anyway, yeah. So we found this view. It was really beautiful. It was like overlooking the lake. You see all the lights and all the boats, and it was just really pretty. And then we have a picture of it. I look like a freaking baby in it. Um, it was my headband phase when I was nonstop wearing headbands. um, yeah, so that was a really good trip. Of course there was some fighting because who doesn't fight if you're like cooped up in like a little cabin, you know? One night I remember we watched Great Gatsby. Fire movie. Love movies. So, we like me and my family always has a great time when we go on vacation, whether it's somewhere that can be boring. But we just find it we can always have fun. And I guess that's the point of having a family because you're supposed to have fun no matter what. Yes, sometimes my dad can be a grouch, but we can still have fun. Uh, One time when we went to, I'm trying to think of another trip that we went on that was actually really fun. I guess the next trip has to be Disney when I was 7. It was me and my family, and it was literally my whole entire dad's side of the family. So it was my aunt, my uncle, all my cousins. So James was there, and my cousin Diane, and everyone. Literally everyone. And we all had condos. And oh, and also my uncle on my mom's side. Um, we had all our own condos. So in one condo was my mom, my 2 brothers, my uncle, and my dad, and me in one condo. And then everyone else in their own other condos. I forgot what their setup was. But it was really fun. Me and my brother, one of my brothers, we had to sleep on a pull-out couch. It was actually it was like a king-size pull-out couch. And it was in the living room, so it was obviously it was in the living room. Where else would it be? And my mom and my dad had this ginormous freaking room, and they had like a jacuzzi as a bathtub. Okay, I can't speak English. A bathtub. I don't even think they used it, to be honest. Like, you can go swimming in this shit. Like, that's how I remember. Maybe it was just because I was tiny and it looked really big, but I don't know. I just remember this thing being ginormous. And then my uncle and my other brother had their own room. They both had twin size beds. I don't even think we used the kitchen, to be honest. But I remember exactly what this freaking condo looks like. That's how much of a good long-term memory I have. When you first walked in, it was like a little tiny hallway. And when you walk in, there's the dining room table. And it was a glass dining room table, and it had black chairs. And then there was the kitchen. And then to the right of the kitchen, there was the one bedroom with my uncle and my other brother sleeping in. And then it's the couch that breaks off between the kitchen and the living room. And there was a big TV. And then to the left of the TV, there was my parents' room. And it was like a giant ass room, like I said before. And then there was like a little patio. And I just remember having one night, and my dad and we just stayed up all night watching Disney movies on the pull-out couch. And while my other brother, who was sleeping in the pull-out bed with me, slept in the bed with my mom. And I think they had a king-size bed, to be honest. But that's like one of my favorite memories of me and my dad. Me and him really don't make memories together. Good ones, at least. Fun ones, at least. Which kind of makes me sad, but that's just how it is. And on that trip we were in Florida for a week. I think half of it we went to Universal, and half we went to Disney. I don't know how it works now. I totally forgot, and I was obviously not paying attention to when. Oh, I can't speak. And I was obviously not paying attention because I was 7 at the time, so I don't know how all this works. So if I mess up some things, sorry. I was 7 years old. I think maybe 6. I don't know. But we half the time we went to Universal, half the times we went to Disney. And at one point I split up with my parents and I went with my cousins to go to Animal Kingdom. We saw Bug's Life in 4D. Oh, I loved that shit. It was so amazing. Ever since then, I am obsessed with 4D movie theaters and movies. I don't know if you know what 4D is, but obviously you get there's 2D where it's just regular movie, and then there's 3D where it's looks like it's popping out, and then 4D is if there's wind in the video, you feel the wind on yourself. If there's rain, you feel the rain. So we got that for the Bug's Life. Oh my god. They had everything. You sat in this giant, not giant chair, but it was a giant, why do I keep using the word giant? What the hell is wrong with me? There was a chair. It kind of looked like a gamer chair. That's a good way to explain. A roller coaster seat. That's what it kind of looked like. And there were speakers surrounding you. So you had it cuffed out the sides. I don't know how to describe it. And there's just speakers. So if there's wind and I don't know, whatever. And there's water fountains. It's hard to explain, but it was so amazing. I remember it was inside the giant tree. I'm pretty sure. Because I remember when I walked into the giant tree, I remember looking at the walls and it was just so beautiful. And I walked into it was a giant room. It was a giant theater. Excuse me. Yeah, I loved that so much. And then I also, a key memory, um, I kind of remember like all my favorite rides. My favorite ones was like uh Tower of Terror. That was a good one. Um I flew out of my seat, and when we got off the ride my mom was like, "Yo, there is this giant, he had to be like a football player. Like he was huge and he was acting like all tough before the ride started, and then he started screaming as a little girl when we first started dropping, and like the vision that I had when she explained it was the funniest thing ever. We still laugh about it. um but Tower Tower is like so fun. I loved that ride. um Another one I remember is the Rock and Roller Coaster. That was um really fast. It was literally a 2 minute ride. Not a 2 minute ride. It was probably like a 30-second ride. It's very fast, and you go upside down, and I didn't even know that until after the ride. Because you don't even notice that you're going upside down. And that's how fast it was. And it was like so loud on the roller coaster. There's very loud music, like just rock music, obviously classic rock music. I think Aerosmith was playing when we went in. Um, and it was my mom's favorite ride. Even though she hates upside down roller coasters, she didn't even know it went upside down until after we got off. And when we got off, there was like a little store, and I got a snow globe, which further in the future I wasn't able to bring on the plane because my dad packed it in the wrong spot and wasn't listening to my mom. So they took it away, and I don't have a snow globe anymore. I was very upset that day. Very upset. Um, Also, I remember we went to the Dr. Seuss land. I think that's in Universal. I'm not I'm not sure. It kind of all just melds together. Uh, Dr. Seuss land was absolutely amazing. My uncle, he's afraid of heights. So he was like terrified to go on this one ride. When you first, okay, so I don't know how to explain this. So when you first walked into Dr. Seuss Land, right, if you look up, there was a roller coaster that goes across. It like goes around the whole entire park, and it's like in the air, so you can look down on people like walking below you when you're on the ride. And my uncle was absolutely terrified, but we forced him to go on. He went with my brother, and apparently he was like freaking out the whole entire time. But like it really wasn't that far up off the ground. I had to say it had to be at least, it was probably like 10 feet in the air. Like not like it really wasn't that far off the ground. But it was just really funny. We made fun of him about it the whole entire trip. Um there was also another ride that me and my mom and my one of my brothers were supposed to go on. Let me give these characters names. Well, not characters, but people. My mom, obviously, her name's gonna be Mom. My brother that I'm talking about is Gray. Um, so, me, Gray, and my mom, we went on this one ride, and then we didn't realize what it was until we were waiting online. And we first started, when we first started seeing the ride in person, you can see that it spins. It's like it was in like a giant building, and the ride is when you sit in like this giant like circular thing, and it kind of like, I guess the ride is Dr. Seuss telling a story, and the seat like turns to face all these different like spots where it has to do with the ride. It's hard to explain. But if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, you know? You know, if you know, you know. So my mom ended up bailing because, like, I get it, because she gets sick really easily. So, she couldn't go on it unless she wanted to throw up, and obviously no one wants to throw up. So she was at the end of the ride, She got off the line and then she waited at the end of the line for us, which kind of wasn't a good idea because I think Gray was like, we're 6 years apart. So he had to be like, no, he had to be 13 or 12, which that doesn't sound right. I don't know. But apparently I guess he was 13. I don't know. It had to be because I was like 6 or 7 and we're 6 years apart. But she didn't leave us when we were on the line. She waited for us to get on the ride, and then she's a good mom. she's a good mom. So she's probably the only one listening to this right now. So love you, Mom. Yeah. So Dr. Seuss Land was pretty lit. I also remember the Mummy ride. Now I didn't go on it because so the line went outside the building. And when we first got in, I saw a dark tunnel, and that's what you go through when you're on the ride. So I was like, no thank you, because I was terrified of the dark. And so I was like, this is not happening. I am not going on this ride. And I started like freaking out, crying, I think. This is what my parents told me. But I do remember this. And my dad was like, just have her wait outside. And my mom's like, I'm not leaving a 6-year-old outside of the Mummy ride in Disney World. Like, that's not like a good idea. Like, she can get taken. But I feel like I guess my dad didn't really care about that. I don't know. He wanted my mom to go on the ride, but my mom was nice, and she didn't go on the Mummy ride, and she stayed with me and went into this like little waiting area for like all kids and like parents to wait if they're not going on the ride, because like I think we had to go up like stairs and like stuff, and like so we waited until the ride was over. It was like this little tiny room, and there was like a little TV, and I think I was playing with toys. I don't know. My mom was standing there. That's what I remember. But after the ride, my mom was so angry because she wanted to go on, but, she had to stay with me because she was a good parent. I mean, my dad's a good parent. I'm not saying my dad's a terrible parent. He's a good parent, but he believes in everyone's on their own, But I feel like all men in that generation are, so. But, the Mummy ride, I really want to go on it. Me and my friends were supposed to go to Disney World and Universal in July this year. But who knows if that's going to happen. I'm going to be very upset and very angry if I can't go. Because I haven't been there since I was 6 or 7. And I'm 18 now, going to be 19 in November. I'm trying to think of the Toy Story ride in Universal. Oh my god, beautiful. Loved it. You like shoot all these little characters. It's so fun. I went with that with my cousins, I think. I think we went to Epcot too, I think. I'm pretty sure we went to Epcot. I'm trying to think of another one of my favorite rides. Oh my god, I just thought of something. Okay, so there was like, this is probably my favorite. I remember this, my parents remember it like so vividly. I remember it vividly too. I was obsessed with princesses when I was younger. Obsessed. So it was just my parents and me. I don't know where everyone else was. I really don't know. But it was like it was like where you can meet the princesses, and I really wish they got this on video. We were online, and they're like, oh yeah, they kept telling me that the princesses weren't going to be there, they weren't going to meet, I wasn't going to be able to meet them, it was just like Mickey and Minnie Mouse that I was going to be able to meet. And I was very upset. I was like tearing, like crying on the line when we were waiting. My parents just kept saying that I'm not going to meet them, while they knew I was going to meet them. They were pranking me. They pranked a 6 and 7-year-old with princesses, you know? That's mean. That's very mean. But when we got closer up to the front of the line, I saw the princesses, and I ran past everyone in front of the line that was in front of us. I freaked out when I saw the princesses. Freaked out. I ran up to Belle because she was my favorite. She still is. And I was like, "You're so beautiful." And my parents were like chasing after me because I cut everyone in line. I think like the security like let us, and people who were working there let us just go there because I was like freaking crying in Belle's lap, you know. But I met all the princesses, and I can't believe my parents pranked me. Good parents, you know. That was probably like, I was so happy. I just remember my jaw dropping, and when I saw those princesses, I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. I remember so much more on this trip than I thought I did. I met the Grinch. I met Goofy, you know. That was such a great trip. I'm gonna be so upset if I can't go in July. So upset. What's another good trip that we went on? I know my parents went to the Bahamas without me for their honeymoon. I was very upset. I wanted to go, but it was their honeymoon, so I couldn't go. What was another trip? Why can't I think of anything? Oh, okay. The trip to go to my Supernatural convention. Oh, loved. It was just me, my dad, and my mom. And it was in Washington, D.C. So we, obviously, I think we left like 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm not sure. I remember it being really dark out when we first started driving. Oh my god, that was so... If you don't know what Supernatural is, it's a TV show. It's about two brothers that hunt monsters and ghosts, and it's my favorite show of all time. I'm actually wearing a Supernatural shirt right now. But it was a convention where I got to meet Jensen and Jared, the two main, the actors that play the two main characters. I got to meet them. I technically met Mark Shepard with my mom because he yelled at us during the panel, his panel. Because when he has his panel, you guys don't know. It was so fun. Mark Shepard, he plays a demon in the show. And when he's on his panel, it's when they sit on stage and they talk. But he doesn't sit on stage. He likes to walk around and like interact with the crowd, and he answers questions from the crowd. He's amazing. And we were sitting in someone else's seats because we didn't know how it worked at first. So we sat front row, but we didn't realize that it is certain tickets to get those, because it was my first convention, and it was just me and my mom. She's never been to a convention because she's not into that stuff, and my dad was back. I think he was just he was just like exploring Washington, D.C. So it was just me and my mom, and he's the only one that went to like other conventions more than I have. So we didn't know. And then in the middle, when he first got on stage, Mark Shepard, we had to get up because we were in someone else's seats. And we were trying to find a seat, and we were in the back, and he was walking. He was like, "You're in my way." And he started yelling at us. It was really funny. My face was like so red. Ugh. he yelled at us, but like in a joking way, you know? And we were like talking back to him, and it was fun. It was fun being yelled at by a celebrity. I met, like I said before, Jensen and Jared. I got a sandwich photo, which is a lot of freaking money, by the way. It was $365 for just a sandwich photo with Jensen and Jared. Now, one thing I haven't mentioned is that Jensen is like the love of my life. Jensen Ackles is his full name. Jensen Ross Ackles is his name. He's the love of my life. And we were online. When we first entered the room where we were going to meet him, I was already flipping out. And all the security, there's like a ton of security. They collected all of our things. Like, they collected our bags, our coats, our phones, everything. So you can't take pictures of them while you're online or like record. You couldn't record yourself meeting them either, which is really, I was very upset because I really wish someone recorded me. Because when I got closer, my heart, like, it like exploded out of my freaking chest because I love them so much. When I was next online, they told me to wait because there was someone that was in a wheelchair that was their turn. They were waiting. So they went up and they went first, and then it was my turn. And I remember both of them just turning around and looking at me, and Jensen was chewing gum. And Jared and Jensen, they said something. They joked around about something. It wasn't about me. It was about something else. And they were both laughing when I walked up to them. I looked at Jensen straight in the fucking eyes. I really can't think about it because then my heart breaks. And he smiles so big, and when he smiles a big smile, I can't explain it, but you can see his gum in his mouth, and I fucking love that. Okay? And I really thought I was about to pass out, so I had to look away from him as fast as I can. And I looked at Jared. I was like, oh my god, this isn't good either, because I thought I was going to still pass out, so I went back and forth, facing both of them. I was like, I don't know what to do. And then I ended up and they both laughed. They giggled, and I laughed too. And I hugged Jared, and then I hugged Jensen. Oh my god. I brought sunglasses, because Jensen looks so good in sunglasses. And I had this whole entire planned out. I knew exactly how my photo was going to be, but it didn't happen because I was a fucking asshole and was just like love struck and like too excited for like life. But I couldn't even speak to Jensen. When after I hugged them both, I looked at Jensen, and we made direct eye contact, and I was like, can you wear these? And then when he looked into my eyes, I had to look down because I really didn't know what I was like. And then the girl was like, all right, get together, start to take a picture. And then, so I got in between them, and then freaking, I was so angry. Jensen crosses his arms, and with his sunglasses on, and I faint into Jared's arms. So he hugs me, and then I'm just like into his chest, like just dying. I look disgusting in this freaking photo, and I was just, oh my god. It was really rude, but like the people that were working, I understand that they have a job and they have to get all these people in at a certain time to take their picture. But they started pushing me away right after the guy clicked the button. He was like, okay, he literally clicked the button, and he was like, next. And then Jensen gave me back my glasses, because I forgot. I started walking away, and Jensen was like, wait, and he hands me my glasses. I was like, oh, thank you. And then, the workers started, like, pushing me away. And I was like, thank you, guys. I love you guys so much. You guys saved my life. And, Jensen didn't hear me, which I was very upset about because a freaking bitch that was online ran up to him and like hugged him before, like I was still next to them while she ran up to them. I was like, really? and I was being pushed away, and Jensen, he stops the worker. I mean, not Jensen. Jared stops the worker, and he grabs my arm and pulls me back, and he was like, "Thank you, I love you too," and he blows me a kiss, and I lost my shit. I turned around and I saw my mom, and she was like tearing up, and as soon as I walked out of that room and I collected my stuff, sobbing for the next hour. I was sobbing, completely like not aware of my surroundings, just crying. Like, I have so many. Oh my god. I want to go back so bad so I can just redo that and like actually get the picture that I wanted. Like, I love the picture that I have. I just want to do it over again because I couldn't talk to Jensen because I'm like so mad at myself that I didn't do what I wanted to do. But I guess that makes sense because things are different when it's actually happening. Oh my god. I just I want to do it so bad. I want to do it again so much. It was so fun. I bought so many things. I spent so much money at this freaking convention. It was just so fun. I need to do it again. I really hope they keep doing conventions because their last season is on. Well, it's not on because Corona, they had to stop production. So they're talking about having a season 16 now if they're not able to continue season 15. So I really hope I'm able to redo this, maybe just get by myself with Jensen, so then I have to talk to him. We'll just do a sandwich photo, and now I know not to freaking ignore Jensen. I love them so much. Like, my heart is, like, pounding whenever I think about it. Like, I can't talk about it because I get so sad because I just want to go back. So that was a really fun trip. I love that. And when we first got to Washington, D.C., we saw the White House, which was really fun. I would love to do that again. My dad got yelled at in the White House because my dad's a house painter. So whenever he's in a room, he always looks at, like, the trimming, and he looks at the paint, and he looks everywhere. And when we were in the White House, it was just, I don't know where my mom was. She probably was in the bathroom because she always has to pee, like, 24/7. But, me and my dad were standing in a hallway, and there was security all, like, around every single corner. And my dad was touching the wall. And the guy was like, "Sir, don't touch the wall." And my dad, I got this on video, by the way. And my dad was like, "Sorry, sir." I got this all on video. I was dying. I can't believe. Then when we saw my mom, we told her, and she was cracking up. It was really funny. I'm trying to think. My dad tried to go to the Holocaust Museum while we were at the convention, but he said it was just so sad. He couldn't go through the whole thing. He, like, had to run through. But definitely next time, if I do go to Washington, I do want to go into the Holocaust Museum. I'm always interested. I'm interested in that stuff and learning about it, and, you know, it's very interesting to me, and it's definitely something that everyone should really know about because it is something that happened in our history, and it was just like it's a really important thing to know about, and I just really enjoy learning about it. And it's very sad that billions of people died, but you know, half of us probably wouldn't be here if it didn't happen. I don't want to sound heartless, but, like, things do happen for a reason, so maybe that had to happen to prevent something else from happening, you know what I mean? Yeah, so that was the Supernatural convention. I freaking, Love. Love. Also, literally a few days after, I went to the Supernatural convention for my birthday. My birthday's on the 13th, and I met Jensen and Jared on the 12th. So, and we drove home on my birthday. And then on November 16th, me, my friend Julia and Christina, on I think it was the 16th. It was the 16th or the 17th. I'm not sure. We won tickets to go to TRL, the TV show, on MTV. So we went to the city, and we went because the Dolan twins are there, and we absolutely love the Dolan twins. I still adore them so very much. They are my loves. I love them so much. So we went there, and I was on TV. My friends were also on TV, but I was literally right in front of the freaking camera. I was like, of course, the ugly person has to be on TV. Yeah, so it was the episode where Little Peep just passed away, and they were talking about Little Peep. It was very sad. And I was standing right behind all three of them, and then when the Dolan twins came out, they both made eye contact with me, and you can see my face on the TV. I'm just like, like, I tried so hard not to run up on stage and just hug them. It took all of me to stop myself from doing that, because I know I would have been kicked out. It was so fun, though. We went to the city. We walked around a little bit because we got there early, and then we were the first ones online at TRL, because thanks to me, because I know how to plan things, you know. I love planning things, to be honest. And I told them that we should go early. And at first they didn't want to, but I finally convinced them. So thank God we went early, because I think a lot of people win the tickets, but then only like the first, I want to say 100, maybe more, people are allowed to go in, and we were the first ones online. So we were on TV like multiple times. Like there was a camera shot of me, Christina, and Julia just clapping our hands and smiling and laughing. And then there was us behind the stage, and we got to meet Matt Riff, I think his last name is, at the end after the show ended. I have a picture with him. My friend has a picture with him. I think Christina has a picture with him. I don't know if Julia does. I think she does. I'm not sure. That was really fun. That was we were running. After TRL ended, we had to run to the next train. Run, like we sprinted. We almost missed it. We were so close to missing it. But that was really fun too. I think also that week I saw Alec Benjamin, and I met him. So it was that was a good freaking week, I gotta say. My birthday in 2017, best week ever. I saw the Dolan twins in person. They didn't look like humans. I met the holograms of Jensen and Jared, because I still don't want to accept that it was actually them. Same thing with the Dolan twins. And then I met Alec. Now, me and my friend Kayla, we talked to Alec. We were friends. Calic. I connected both their names. Kayla and Alec were closer than I was to Alec. And when I met me and my friend Eileen, we went to go see Alec. It was me, Eileen, and my mom went to go see Alec. My mom and I were in the front. I mean, not my mom. Me and Eileen were in the front row. My mom couldn't sit with us because of this other bitch mom was being an asshole. Not gonna get into that. All you need to know is that this other mom was an ass. So, My mom couldn't stand with us, but me and Eileen were in front row. We were literally right at his feet. So fun. Love Alex so much. Now he's a big thing, so probably everyone probably knows about him by now. And I got after we were leaving, we realized that Alec was in the lobby, and I was like, I need to go. I need to go in. And I don't know why, but Eileen didn't come with me. I think it was because she wasn't allowed to go because he was sitting in the bar section, and I don't think she was allowed to go in because she wasn't old enough. But I wasn't old enough either, but they didn't even, they thought I was old enough, so they let me in. So I went into this crowded place, and it was like shoulder to shoulder. It was packed. So packed. And when I finally got up to him, I was like, "Hi, Alec, I love you. I don't know if you remember me, my friend's Kayla." And he was like, "Oh my god, yeah. And I was like, "Thank you for everything, and, I love you. You saved me." Not say you saved me, but I kept saying I love you. And we took a picture, and I was very happy. And I went out, and I was, love struck, because I love Alex so much. Love him. So that was fun. And that was at the Knitting Factory. Yes, the Knitting Factory. It was really funny, because when we first got there, we had to wait. We had to wait either outside, or if you're old enough, you can wait in the bar section. So when we hand in our tickets, we go down this little hallway, and there was a security guard there, and he was he pointed to me, he was like, "You can go in," and then he pointed to Eileen and was like, "You can't go into the bar section, you're not of age." And my mom had to stay with Eileen, and I went in and I got merch. I went because they had the merch table in the bar section, so I got merch. I got 3 things. I got a sweatshirt and then 2 shirts. Yeah, and then my mom ended up getting Eileen stuff when my mom was in the bar. When me and Eileen were in the concert. That was really fun. And then the next year, I think it was either March or May, I went to the Knitting Factory again with my mom and my mom's best friend, Lorraine. I went to go see Cub Sport. So it was just me in the concert area. I was at the Knitting Factory also. And I ended up meeting 2 girls. We're still friends to this day. We made friends online because they were the first ones there. And then I was the second one because I like to get places early. So I have the first row. So, again, I was the first person. I was in the first row for Cub Sport. I didn't get to meet them afterward because we had to leave. I was very upset about that. But I did meet the band that was on before Cub Sport. They're called Minor Poet. They were actually really good. Because the Cub Sport's merch table was in the place where the concert was going on. So we went over there at the end and we met everyone in Minor Poet. That was really fun because freaking Tim, the lead singer of Cub Sport, he bent down right in front of us and was making direct eye contact with one of my friends. Oh my god. I was like, oh my fucking god, did he really just do that to you? And she was like, yeah. We were both flipping out. We both have it on video. Oh, and I forgot to mention, at the Alec concert, there was someone else before Alec, and his name's Kyle. Love him so much. When he was singing, he bent down right in front of me. Me and him made direct. He was like singing to me, like we're staring into each other's eyes, and like I was freaking out. He was like so close to me, and my cousin Eileen has it on video, and I was just like, hello. That was so fun. So, yeah. Now that I think about it, I have gone to a few conventions. I went to Walker Stalker for a Walking Dead convention. And then I also went to Comic-Con one year with my sister. Yeah. So I guess I have some pretty good memories. Of course, they're more recent. I have to sneeze. Ew, did you hear that? What happened to me? Okay, I think that's where I'm gonna end it because I don't want to have another Danzig attack. Oh my god, what just happened to me? Okay, anyway. So yeah, those are some of my favorite memories. I hope you enjoyed. If you're still listening, it's probably only my mom listening. So hi, Mom, again. Wow, I'm about to sneeze again. All right, so I'm gonna go. I'm out. Hope you're here next time. Oh God, what the hell? Okay, goodbye. Love you guys. Love whoever's listening to this. Till next podcast. Peace.